Take a second and look around the room you're in right now. Really look at the walls, your desk, the screen you're watching this on. You're surrounded by dozens of completely different items. But what is all of this actually made of at the most basic physical level? The answer is matter. In science, matter is the building block of the universe. To qualify, a substance just has to meet two conditions. It takes up physical space, which we call volume, and it weighs something, meaning it has mass. Regardless of appearances, every single physical item in the universe follows this one foundational rule of being matter. But clearly, not all matter looks or acts the same way. It typically presents itself in one of three distinct states. First, you have solids. These hold a rigid, fixed shape and volume that won't change unless you apply serious force. Next are liquids. These maintain a constant volume, but they flow and immediately take the exact shape of whatever container they're poured into. Finally, we have gases. Even though they are usually invisible, gases are still matter. They have mass, and their molecules will spread out to fill whatever space is available to them. If a hard wooden pencil and the invisible air around it are both technically matter, calling them both by the same name isn't very helpful. We need a more precise vocabulary to explain why the physical world behaves so differently. People often use the words matter, material, and object as if they mean the exact same thing, but in science, they are very different concepts. A material is a specific, identifiable substance that we choose to use. Think of things like raw wood, like pure plastic or solid steel. An object, on the other hand, is the final, functional item that gets created out of that material. You take a raw material like wood, shape it, and it becomes a specific object, like a table. You apply that same logic everywhere. Plastic becomes a chair. Metal becomes a spoon. Glass becomes a tumbler. Our daily lives take place in a world of specific objects, each one crafted from a material chosen for its unique properties. To organize all these materials, we first have to track exactly where they come from. They generally fall into two origin categories. Natural materials are found directly in the environment. This includes resources we harvest from the earth, like cotton, stone, and wood. Man-made materials are heavily processed or entirely invented by humans through chemistry, like nylon, synthetic polyester, and plastics. One side relies on biological growth and geological time, while the other relies on synthetic engineering and industrial factories. Whether a substance is extracted from a forest or engineered in a laboratory, pinpointing its origin is the first step in figuring out what it's good for. Because we have millions of different objects and materials at our disposal, our world would be pure chaos without a strict system to keep them straight. We manage this through a process called classification. This is simply the act of grouping things together based on their shared similarities. Think about how a grocery store operates. The shopkeeper doesn't put soap next to the fresh apples. They classify items, grouping the pulses in one section and the canned goods in another, so you can actually find what you need. We do the exact same thing at home. In a kitchen, you automatically separate the metal utensils from the ceramic plates, or the dry ingredients from the liquids. In science, we classify materials by analyzing their properties. A property is a unique trait, like how hard a metal is, how shiny a diamond is, or how light passes through glass. By observing these traits, we can run a massive sorting process, separating the hard from the soft, the transparent from the opaque, and the soluble from the insoluble. We analyze and group these properties for one highly practical reason, so we can select the exact right material for the exact right job. Think about the disaster of building a house with windows made of solid wood, or trying to cook your breakfast in a frying pan made out of melting plastic. Take one final look around your room. You are sitting in a brilliantly engineered space,